Hello, my name is Benayas and this is my science fair project. The reason I chose this project was because of my obsession with cars. This inspired me to try to find a way to make them better, not only for the car but for the environment, which led me to discover ethanol. But first of all, what is ethanol? Ethanol, also known as ethyl alcohol, is drinking alcohol, except it has been fermented with yeast, so it becomes non-potable. Ethanol has many benefits not only for vehicles but for the environment. Ethanol is an organic chemical compound that is cost-effective compared to other biofuels and decreases our dependency on fossil fuels. Currently, only flex fuel cars are able to fully use high concentrations of ethanol without causing damage to the engine. But as fossil fuels become more scarce, ethanol will become more popular and more accessible. And that's why it's important to know the benefits and liabilities of each ethanol mixture so that future vehicles can become more efficient and benefit our planet. The purpose of this experiment was to find the effective ethanol percentage on fuel efficiency. The independent variable is the fuel efficiency, and the dependent variable is the ethanol percentage. There was no control group for this experiment, and the constants were the four-stroke engine type, the engine oil, and the amount of each mixture added. A four-stroke engine is just the way the engine creates internal combustion using four different steps, as shown in this picture right here. Hypothesis. If the following ethanol mixtures are tested, those mixtures being 10%, 15, 85, and 100, then 10% ethanol will be the most efficient. First, the four different ethanol mixtures, 10%, 15, 85, and 100, were purchased along with a 212cc gas engine. Then, the engine was screwed into a plank of wood to prevent movement, and 250 milliliters of each ethanol mixture was measured and put into a container. Lastly, each mixture was loaded into the engine and ran until the fuel was done. This was repeated twice for each mixture. This is a list of materials used in the experiment, as shown right here. And all ethanol mixtures were tested using the Predator engine, as shown in this picture right here. These are the results from my experiment, and as you can see, the graph here represents the average amount of time in minutes for each trial. 10% ethanol had the largest average time of 23 minutes and 88 seconds, which agreed with my hypothesis. 15% came in second at a time of 18 minutes and 79 seconds, and 85% ethanol had a time of 14 minutes and 71 seconds. And lastly, the mixture with the smallest time was 100% ethanol, at a time of 9 minutes and 17 seconds. This data table here shows the time for each ethanol mixture on every trial. In conclusion, results suggest that 10% ethanol was the most efficient, therefore supporting my hypothesis. I believe that 10% ethanol had the largest time because E10 is a more common ethanol mixture, and ethanol burns much quicker than normal gas. So that's why the higher the ethanol concentration, the quicker it burns, therefore allowing it to last longer than the other mixtures. Nothing is perfect, and my project is no exception, so these are the errors that occurred during the experiment. First, the temperature varied between test days, which may have altered the speed it started at. Second, the engine was not fully stabilized, which may have caused damage to the engine. And lastly, the engine did not fully finish all the fuel in the tank before new fuel was added in, so this may have mixed with other mixtures. There's much you can deduce from the results of this experiment, and the information can be translated to other fields of science and engineering. There are many other ways to increase fuel efficiency other than ethanol, such as adding fuel additives, which are chemical compounds used to enhance engine performance. So an experiment could be done in which different fuel additives are tested to see which produces the highest fuel efficiency. Another experiment can be done in which different ethanol mixtures are tested to determine which produces the most amount of horsepower, as shown in this picture. Horsepower is only one of the many benefits of ethanol performance-wise, but ethanol has a much bigger environmental benefit, such as decreasing our dependency on fossil fuels and our carbon emissions. So that as technology advances and ethanol becomes more accessible, more cars will become ethanol-based, creating a more eco-friendly world. And this is my literature cited. As you can see, I have 5 peer-reviewed sources and 1 non-peer-reviewed source.